The Film Lab Africa project, I'd call it a watershed, in its own way, because of the way the program has been designed. The goal of the program itself, is not just to train emerging filmmakers, but it's to immerse them, into the film space, into the film industry, and not just show the practice, but the business side of things. How can filmmakers become entrepreneurs? And for filmmakers to become entrepreneurs, there needs to be a networking, but having a program where the participants are able to engage with facilitators that are active practitioners in the industry, story mentors, that are well grounded. The British Council providing this platform, especially by engaging, us, the partners, myself and the UK partner and our technical consultant, to kickstart, a project like this. I think it's something that means a lot, for the Nollywood film industry, and not just Nollywood film industry, just even for the film business in Africa.
Prior to when I joined the British Council, I had always been, friends with the British Council, and they had a film lab that I observed. And at the time, I just felt it wasn't enough. I had also spent some time in my career working in film and television, and I always knew, that if I had the opportunity to support the ecosystem, I'd be doing a film lab, something like this. And thankfully, my thoughts and the ambitions of the British Council aligned. Another consideration is Nollywood and some of the challenges observed. I think we need a new pipeline of filmmakers. Film Lab is, answers to some prayers, I would say, and hopefully the opportunity for some dreams to come true.
In terms of Film Lab Africa, I think it's a brilliant project. I like the fact that there's a learning element that moves on to production element, that moves on to showcasing. So it's like a 360, everything that you need to know about Nollywood and about being successful in the industry.
The learning season, was exciting. It wasn't just an academic exercise, but it was, these participants coming into each session feeling energized, feeling refreshed, adding knowledge, understanding the business, of filmmaking, in diverse ways.
The learning season was intensive, to say the least. It was intensive, but we put together a season program that was designed to educate, inform, and really equip the participants in the next phase of their filmmaking career. Now, when we move into the production season became quite challenging because these were 20 films, grant-winning films, that was going to be used to showcase what the participants have learned over the course of the training program. And as we stepped into the showcase season, that this is the epitome of the program in itself, where we're showcasing these 20 grant-winning films, the 10 short films, as well as the 10 short microfilms. And this is where we show the world, not just Nigeria, not just Africa, but the entire globe, that these participants are ready to take on the film industry and move their career to the next level.
Being selected as a cohort member for Film Lab Africa was amazing, it was surreal.
Being a part of this cohort has really made me feel like I have what it takes, especially being selected.
I'm forever grateful that I got selected.
I don't know what they were looking for, but I'm grateful that they picked me.
I feel privileged to be selected.
The participants that were selected for this program, they're spectacular, I'll put it that way. What has happened with the selection of participants is having participants that are not just bold, but they are creative, and they are open to knowledge.
The quality of the facilitators on this training program is as a result of the atmosphere and the relationship we've been able to build within ourselves as partners, because without that trust among the partners, yes, there was that fear, because sometimes we all work in isolation and trying to figure things out, and it's such a big project. You cannot but put your head in one space and say, okay, someone is going to take charge of this and try and figure it out. And I think one cannot move away from the fact that there was a trust, that we all believed in the ambition of this project and we all believed in what we wanted to do.
You have, your cinemas here. You would create a DCP. This is now creating your final file. You create a DCP, your digital cinema package. That's what usually would go to the projectionist, for them to project, into the cinema.
I honestly believe that advertising is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And I can attest to that in terms of the opportunity it affords you to work on just about anything you can imagine under the sun.
Whatever you are drawn to, one as a reader and also as a watcher, a viewer, whatever passions you have, you must find a way to tell that story.
I will never forget how The Class by Dawn made me feel. I had goosebumps. I had light bulb moments. I've always had short courses here and there about telling a story, but it was nothing like this.
I think the facilitators have been absolutely amazing. And then there's, of course, Lamre Adisa. His class, it was very nostalgic, and to have him as a facilitator was really, really helpful and insightful. So yeah, the facilitators, I don't think we could have asked for anything better. It's been nothing short of amazing.
I think the class where I learned more than I knew, not more than I knew, where I learned for the first time how things should be is in Isioma Idigbe's class. She taught us about the law aspect of it, the legal aspects of it, contracts, sign contracts. She rang it so much in our ears, I can never forget it.
The quality of training is exceptional. It's different when somebody's training you. Well, let me just give you this information because I'm here to give you an information. And when somebody's giving you like a roadmap because they see you as somebody who is in this industry to win, to succeed, that's literally what it feels like. It feels like they're handing us a manual for success.
My Film Lab Africa session with the participants was terrible because I was absolutely jealous of what these crop of filmmakers, are enjoying. One of the great things about, these types of interactions is, even though I'm the facilitator, teaching, sharing, from my little experience, you also get to be reminded of the things that you've forgotten. You get to relearn some things that, you never knew. So it was a great session.
The quality of the training is fantastic. And I think it's because I picked fantastic partners. And speaking to some of the participants, you could hear them say, I did a master's, in 12 weeks. And it's amazing. A lot of them have said this experience is life-changing. It built their confidence, from 0 to 100.
After the 10-week process of learning with the facilitators, it was now time for the participants to pitch, and to pitch competitively. Because one of the things that we've realized quickly in the industry is that it's all about presentation. The way you present yourself, the way you present your ideas, the way you present your work, So having these participants go through that process competitively, not just one round or 2 rounds, being able to put together the documents, being able to send in those documents, being able to put together a pitch, and not just in writing, but also verbally, also now come and pitch the stories to judges who they are not familiar with, but they know of and they respect, places that pressure on them, and the whole point of this experience was for them to identify where their weaknesses are, so that they can improve, so that they can grow. And I think that pitching section was one of the important parts of the process so far.
One of the things that we will be looking at when we are judging your proposals for your short film is strong concept. Do you have a strong concept? A great short film usually begins with a compelling concept or idea that can be effectively conveyed in a short amount of time. These concepts might be thought-provoking, emotionally resonant, or visually captivating.
The Film Lab Africa pitch session was so it was so interesting. It was so enthralling, and the participants were so passionate, and they had stories from far and wide. Their imagination is out of this world.
My pitch session was nerve-wracking.
I was quite nervous because that was my first time pitching on that kind of scale.
I love pitching. I think pitching is a way to prove concept that, okay, what I think I know, I actually know.
It was tough. They asked me all questions from all manner, but because I had done the work, I was very interested in the story. I wanted to also sell this. I believed in it. And so it was easy for me to answer the questions and pitch.
The pitch section took me back to my final year in school. It was like defending my final year project. When the day came and I was called that I was one of the grant winners, I was like, yes!
So production, in my experience, I could see, and said the quality of the technical crew, so the cinematographer, the lights, the sound, I could see that. And they were very consistent across the different sets. The directors, well, directing can be such a creative process, even though I think it's scientific. I don't think it's creative, I think it's science. But it's left for interpretation. So I could see the attempts of what they're trying to do. And I think we were able to communicate British Council values a lot in terms of how people were treated, welfare, catering, all those things that can make this kind of work difficult. I think we were able to manage a lot of that.
My name is Adora. I'm the producer for the short film Nepal, sponsored by British Council's Film Lab Africa. Yeah, so today is like the first day of shoot. So we're in Surulere. We just finished shooting our hospital scenes. And yeah, it went great. We had 1 or 2 delays, but we're grateful to God because everything ended up well. So yeah, we're looking forward to resuming tomorrow. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, don't worry now. I don't have generator there.
So there's another joint. Start it already now. Why are you wasting time?
No, this one. No, this one.
Yes. So no noise on those 2 sides. Well, I mean, it's been amazing here, and I've been blessed with, beautiful and eclectic and hardworking crew members who are friendly and, who also get to move the job forward every opportunity they get. So it's been an amazing time here with best and amazing crew members, as you can see. So it's been amazing here.
It's an honor to have James Amata on my project. I wanted to work with him for a very long time. I think he's very progressive and he thinks outside of the box.
Directing, producing, acting. Let me not even go into all 3. Producing alone is not for the weak. It is not for the faint-hearted. Then we don't want to enter directing. I think the first time that I started doing the directing work in pre-production, at some point I felt like steam was coming out of my ears because I had to do director's treatment. I had to do like drafts of, the pitch documents, those things I had never done in my life.
Take 1, slate 22A.
Yes, call it please.
My set was really excellent. I worked with very efficient crew and we were always on time. We wrapped up early enough with even a day to spare. I had a few women on my set, my continuity and my line producer. Right, working with these women was really amazing, I tell you.
I'm the sound recordist for this project and it's been awesome. I've been able to work with different directors and different actors, different crew, and the experience has been wonderful.
It's been an amazing journey of 21 days from different sets, from every challenges of location, get to a set, and some basic challenges that we had to overcome each time. Yeah, so far it's been a sweet journey.
The experience on this project has been wonderful and magnificent. I've enjoyed every bit of it, you know, having different producers to work with. It's been a very good experience.
In my journey of being a supervising producer on this project, I encountered 20 wonderful, intelligent personnel. So we had our sessions. Of course, I went through budgeting with them, ensuring that they capture the necessary line items, and then ensuring that they actually negotiate properly with all vendors. And then it was easy peasy. And then we moved on to the short film producers. Of course, that took a bit more time because we needed to pay more attention to all the planning and then the production processes.
There's been a lot of work done, and I want to give a huge thank you to the British Council, the Film Lab partners, and the entire team for 10 microfilms and 10 short films. I'm very much looking forward to the showcase, the premiere, and then the showcase within and outside of the country. Please be on the lookout. There's been a lot of work that has been done. Shout out to every single member of the Film Lab Cohort 2024. I am rooting for each one of you, and I wish you all the very best.
Hi, my name is Moshid Fatai. I'm an actor and I play Ni in Ekunyawo. The entire team are people I call friends in the industry, and I don't call a lot of people friends. And working with them was a breeze. Everybody was professional, friendly, accommodating, understanding. It was a really good experience.
My name is Bironke Ujo, popularly known as Ronke Oshojoke. And I'm playing the character Mommy Toby in this film. I like my character. It's a very good character, a very good one. I've not played this in a long time, so I really like it, and I love the people I'm working with.
I am Chief Peter Fatomilola, an actor. I give credit to the organizer because seeing the crew and the artists, I'm very happy to be part of the production.
I played the role of Mrs. Salami in the movie Ralia's Secret. I'm glad for this opportunity to be a part of, I think this is the first project they're really getting off on the ground. Having a lot of young people do things with new ideas, bright ideas, fresh young people. And that's the whole idea. Every once in a while, it's only right to inject new blood into the system of whatever industry you're in.
One thing I cannot wait for is the last shout of "It is a wrap" on this set. That "It's a wrap" is going to come from the hearts of everybody on the set. Why? We have struggled, we have endured. We can see our efforts in real time.
It's a wrap.
This showcase, Creative Hustle, Film Club, they're all catalysts. They're all put together to spark conversation, number one, spark ideas, and hopefully intervention and participation. We want to support Nollywood. The potential is obvious, everybody can see it. And we now need to start to distill the value chain, and professionalize the value chain.
All right, good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Film Lab Africa Film Club event. So, what do you expect for this particular event, the Film Club event today? What do you expect?
I expect great things like networking, because diversity is key in this industry. And also, we are talking about combining each other's effort together, collaborations, and that's the way we can go forward in the industry. So I'm looking forward to the best today, and that's why I'm here.
British Council has created this Film Lab Africa event to, of course, create networking for young filmmakers and create room for collaborations. What are your thoughts about the whole setup itself?
This is a very beautiful initiative, and not a lot of people actually bring it to Nigerians, to Lagos to do, and for British Council to actually do that, thank you.
At the end of Film Lab, I see an academy, of a proper institution that supports learning, for creatives in the film space.
for me, I see the future of a Film Lab Africa that continues to grow into something that is bigger, to affect more lives, to be able to be a thought leader, to be able to influence, because there's several things that we want to see in Nollywood.
The future of Film Lab is being able to build a tribe and a community of filmmakers that tell better stories, tell effective stories, and are plugged well into the global experience to be able to take themselves and sell their culture, sell their sense of self to everybody around the world and be well received because their works are well packaged to global standards, but are also built uniquely to the local nuances of being a Nigerian, being an African, and telling stories in a way that does not define us, but allows people to share in our experiences.